everybody. Welcome to Who Runs the Commonwealth with Austin Logan, Zach Kinney, and Luke Howard. This is a podcast about the three best teams of the Commonwealth: JMU, UVA, and Virginia Tech. Zach, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so last week, UVA had a tough loss, NC State. It was a really competitive game. NC State was favored by 3.5. We lost by 4. But yeah, we had a 10-point lead at halftime. We pretty much controlled the game for the first two quarters. It looked like our offense couldn't be stopped. I think we only punted once in the first half. And then coming out of halftime in the third quarter, NC State scored touchdowns on their first three possessions, and so we lost the third quarter 21-7, and then we were playing catch up there in the fourth quarter. But it's still a game in which, like, I think if we played them 10 times, we'd win 9. We were the better team, but in the fourth quarter, we had three possessions, one on their 12-yard line, one on their 32, and then one on their 37. So three possessions in scoring territory, and we came away with 0 points because of a missed field goal, getting stopped on 4th and 1, and then throwing a pick in the end zone to end the game. So that one, like, I mean, I predicted us to lose, but in the manner that we lost, that one really hurt because I feel like we're gonna be looking back on that game late in the season, and being like, damn, like we could have had that one, or should have had that one. But that was tough. But also, NC State, they really impressed me. They seem like the real deal, and I think they'll be competing. They have an amazing quarterback in CJ Bailey, so they're tough out. But no, I was like proud of the effort offensively. It's the best UVA's looked since the Bryce Perkins year in 2019. So really, really happy and impressed with the offense and excited for where it's going to go for the rest of the year. But defensively, we really, really struggled, and some of our injuries going into the game is what I think hurt us the most. Cam Robinson, our starting linebacker, he's an all ACC guy. He won't be back for another 2 weeks, and I think that really hurts. And we have some injuries in the secondary as well. So we got to get healthy on defense, and we got to start tackling right. We just got to be better on defense at all if we want to win 7, 8 games like we're hoping to. But yeah, overall disappointed in the way it ended, but proud of the effort. And yeah, game went about like I expected.
Luke, what do you got on UVA? Anything to add?
On who? UVA?
hmm Against their game against
Nah,
NC State? Not surprised.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, no, not a UVA fan.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I think they were up by two touchdowns, or maybe it was 10 points, but that's when I kind of turned off the game. I thought they kind of had it in the bag, both having kind of questionable defenses. So I didn't think NC State would be able to stop them. But then I kind of checked back on it. And yeah, it was like, actually, I didn't even check back on it because I was very certain that UVA was going to pull it out in a good win, like by at least 10. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be garbage time. I think I was watching it maybe into the third quarter. But yeah, I guess I think what happens early in the season, just got to have some continuity between the team. I think they have done JMU a lot last year, and kind of when their offense is struggling, it's kind of hard to get back on without that continuity from last year with a lot of transfers and stuff. So, all right, Luke, you want to go ahead and take us into Virginia Tech last week? Good Virginia Tech game.
Yeah, very upsetting game, very disappointing. It was kind of honestly like the Virginia NC State game in the beginning because we were up 10 at halftime,
Uh,
and Cameron Jones looked like he was playing very well, but nobody else showed up. You're good. Yeah, our best receiver that we had a total of like 43 received that pass game going. And in the run game, Cameron Jones again had 36 yards. So, and that was the most rushing yards we had. So we played very well defense in the first half and then just completely fell apart. They scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter and then 3 in the fourth. And Virginia Tech could not answer on any of that. So it's very disappointing. I definitely think that there's going to be a change in coaching come next year or hopefully sooner, but something's definitely got to go with this team because they're not able to get the offense started in any capacity at this point.
Zach, you want to go before me?
Yeah, I don't have anything crazy else to add. I was really high on Tech after the week 1 performance against South Carolina, but maybe that's just a sign that South Carolina is not as good as everybody's hyping them up to be. Because I thought Tech's defensive line dominated most of that game, so I expected Tech's defense to do the same. I predicted Tech to beat Vandy, and so yeah, like we know Virginia Tech struggles, but the most shocking thing is just their defense just got I mean, just Vandy ran up and down the field in the second half. I never would have guessed that in a million years. So I don't know what's going on either side of the football right now. I agree with Luke. I mean, Tech fans are going absolutely fucking berserk right now. Like, there's no way Prize back unless they go on some legendary run in the year. I mean, we'll see. It's a long season. Maybe they can rattle off some ACC wins in the middle and head in the right direction towards the end, but that was probably the most disheartening performance, I think, if you're a Hokie fan, given the expectations going into the year being 0-2, but the way they lost to a Vanderbilt team that I think is a lot worse than South Carolina. That was just odd, and especially at home in Lane. I don't know if Brent Pry can recover from
Yeah,
that.
and for them to run up to score 44-20 at the end is crazy.
I mean, that's a sign of like quitting.
Yeah.
Like throughout
Oh
the
yeah,
game, the defense just let it happen. Like that's unacceptable. That's like obviously not the Hokie way. So yeah, something's got to change over there.
yeah. They definitely gave up. They quit for sure at the end. Tough to watch, really. But yeah, I listened to a lot of Virginia Tech podcasts getting ready for this, and man, it is not good news in Blacksburg, man. Everybody's pretty fired up. I mean, losing to Vanderbilt last year, tough. Losing to Vanderbilt again at home, worse.
Way worse.
I'm just saying, I did call that I don't think South Carolina is just that good last week. We need a scoreboard here, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough watch. I think Luke hit all the bases. I think Prize out by the end of the year at least. I think they lose to ODU. We'll get into that in the preview, but yeah. So I guess I'll just go ahead and jump right into JMU's game last week against Louisville, 28-14 loss. Virginia did not have a good week this year. Week this week, I think the only team in Virginia that won, worth mentioning, was ODU. Liberty lost, UVA, JMU, Virginia Tech all lost. Even Southwest Virginia of West Virginia lost. It was a rough week, but yes, JMU came out in the first half, really strong showing on defense, great showing on defense, I might say. Held around their all everything running back to I think it was like 25 yards in the first half until he broke like a 75 yarder to kind of really nail the game home, put him up 28. The offense again is struggling, kind of remnants from last year. If you are a JMU fan, kind of recognize the similarities. Alonzo Barnett struggling to heat up with the two quarterback system with Sluka coming in. JMU's defense had a great game. It was 14-6 in the third quarter. Really thought they were going to pull away. I just thought their defense had a little bit more, but I think it was three and outs, kind of gassed them a little bit at the end. So hard to come back.
Yeah. I like Sluka though. I think Sluka's gonna be really good because Sluka's one of those talents. Is kind of like the Tyson Hill, where
Yeah.
he's just
Mhm.
so athletic. It's just like we want him on the field because he can score. He can run it, pass it, catch it. So he's definitely a unit. But y'all just got to figure out offensively because your defense, I feel like they played amazing. Like I watched that whole game. They were playing great and then the offense just never really heated up like you said that they needed to. And maybe that just means that y'all need to get a new offensive coordinator in there to try figuring out what's going on. But only time will tell. But I am liking the improvement and everything that JMU has done this year.
Yeah, to kind of go off that, everybody says Dean Kennedy, the offensive coordinator for JMU, is like just kind of like genius, right? Like up and comer, all that stuff, like always on the edge, like the trends of the game and stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough to watch. Like last year and this year, its offensive game plan is like non-existent almost. I mean, they went in a Chesney interview. They did kind of go into they were running a lot with Sluka and their big back Fuller, both from Holy Cross just because they were bigger bodies. They were just trying to pound through the defense, I guess. So it does kind of make sense. I don't think we're giving enough credit to Louisville's defense. I think they're a great defense. So I think that's the most improved part of their team from last year, and I think that does make them kind of like a playoff caliber team.
Yeah, because it's just weird how I feel about the game. I was able to catch most of it because like I predicted like the game went exactly how I predicted. Like it'd be close in the first half, one score game pretty much. In the second half, Louisville runs away with it. But it's just the way that it played out is kind of disheartening to me because I didn't expect JMU to be as dominant as they were in the first half, especially on the defensive side, shutting down Miller Moss in that run game. And then for the offense not to be able to capitalize, and especially in the second half, I mean, really sucked. And then I think the game just came down to two plays to me, and JMU's right there at the end. It's the sack fumble. I don't know what the fuck Barnett was thinking in the end zone. Just go down, stop trying to make a play. In my opinion, that basically cost them the game alone. And then obviously the 75-yard touchdown run. I mean, you're going to give up big plays to Louisville. That running back's one of the best in the ACC, if not the country. But the defense was playing so well that one was just kind of a backbreaker. And so if you take those just two plays away, that's a one possession game going down to the last minute. So yeah, that one stings for JMU, just like the game this last week stung for UVA. Kind of felt like you had it right there in the hands. But and also I agree with Luke. I do like Luca a lot. He kind of impressed me. He's still raw, I think, as a thrower, but his mobility, I think, is impressive and is going to pay dividends later in the year. And like, it's not like the Sean Glennon, Tyrod Taylor thing where like they're putting him out every other possession. It's not like a true two quarterback system. It's more just like, hey, if we're in the red zone, we got like certain running situation, we can throw in Sluka. Like I like that. Like I think that'll work. And then Barnett's still, I guess, trying to get his feet back under him. So I think the offense will definitely improve throughout the year, especially against lower competition. I mean, like you said, Austin, Louisville's, I mean, that's no joke of a defense at all. They're very good, very talented. So I think it was a good experience check for JMU, and it's only going to benefit them later down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, so let's get into week two, or I'm sorry, excuse me, week three preview. So JMU, it does have a bye week, so obviously skip them. Coach speak, working on themselves, focusing on themselves. It'll be kind of JMU's game this week. But Luke, since Jack went last time, you want to go first on week three against ODU? ODU plays at Virginia Tech. I believe it's a 7:30 game. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I keep choosing Tech to win. They just keep losing. So
Stick with it.
I know.
That was funny.
It's frustrating. You got terrible coaching. I really don't know what it is because, like you said, week one, they showed out really well against South Carolina to the pass game, run game, and then gave it up at the end. And then this week, they were usually, Virginia Tech's usually known for a second half team where they rival on the second and they do better job than the first. And they couldn't do that last week. But I still think it's going to be a home game. ODU, Virginia Tech, I feel like coming off of two losses, they need a win. And if they lose another one in Blacksburg, I really feel like they're going to riot. Like there will be riots in the street, protests. So I'm going to give it to Virginia. I think it's going to.
You cut out, Luke.
Oh, I would say probably I would say negative 7.5 spread tag.
Yeah, I think that's the line for Vegas. So good spread, honestly. So I don't know if you've seen that beforehand, but
No, I didn't.
oh, that's
It's
crazy.
on the money.
Yeah, right on the money, man. You should work for Vegas.
Good.
Yeah, Zach, you want to go ahead for
Yeah, so I'm gonna have basically the same opinion as Luke. I mean, I've picked Tech last week. I can't not pick them this way. I just don't see any way in hell they lose to ODU. Like as a UVA fan, as much joy that would give me of their fan base going crazy and then firing their coach Sunday morning. Because if they do lose to ODU, there's just no way you can keep pride in that building. Like I don't
Oh no,
understand. Yeah,
there's going to be death threats for
I mean,
sure.
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
bad.
100%.
I'm sure there's
So
already death threats.
yeah, I said it last week, but I'll say it again. Like I think Tech's going to come out fired up even more so, and I don't know. They just have way more talent than ODU, and I know the games have been close in the past several years they've played. ODU's beat them twice, so it's not like it's unheard of. But I just don't see it playing out that way. So I'm going to agree with Virginia Tech win, and I think they win pretty handedly. I'm going to say they win by 14. I'll say 31-17.
That's a good score. I like that, especially coming from a UVA fan. I like that.
Big surprise. I have different opinions, you both, but especially, well, all right. So I'll put it this way. ODU's roster is probably better than it has been the last 2 years. They did lose the last 2 years to Virginia Tech, and they haven't, I don't think they've won at Tech in a while, maybe 3, 4 years. Because the last two times they beat them, it was at home at ODU. And I think they won at Tech in a while, maybe 3, 4 years. 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 4 ye which is part of the reason they canceled their home and home. So I'm gonna pick ODU. Tech struggles with the running quarterback for whatever reason. Like I don't know why Tech got kind of passed over with the read option. They just can't defend it. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I just think Colton Joseph has got something for him. Very similar to Diego Pavia. They do run a really, really spread offense. So like they have like stack wide receivers on the boundary and the field side. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. Their offense doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but they do run out of that a lot. Like they try to spread out the cornerbacks, the safeties, so trying to lighten the box for the run. I bet last week against Vanderbilt, they really struggled against Diego Pavia. I know Colton Joseph isn't Diego Pavia, but maybe a Diego Pavia light, right? Probably same position, has like a couple good years, and then transfers to maybe Vanderbilt, you know, unless Diego Pavia gets another year of eligibility. I'm gonna go ahead and pick ODU 24-17. Actually, yeah, 24-17. I don't think Kyron Jones has Kyron Jones thrown a touchdown pass this year.
Yeah, he had one last game.
Okay, I just asked him. I know he didn't have one in the in for week one, but I got you. I just think, I mean, Henderson, the linebacker, isn't he medically retired, which is ODU's best linebacker, second best linebacker is out, but still a strength for the defense. All right, so that's my pick. Next up is William and Mary against UVA.
Yeah, so not really much to talk about here. UVA's heavy favorites, 24.5, I think is the spread. Sort of just a pick-me-up game for us. We got William and Mary this week and Stanford next week, who's the worst team in the ACC. So two games for us to really start to gel. And like we were talking about, kind of contributed to the loss last week. Just the defense is filled. Like 80% of the guys on the field are guys that transfers, and I think that's part of the reason they struggled so much last week. So William and Mary, I think we're planning on playing the starters like a lot, and our offense coordinator even said like if we have the opportunity to run up the score, we will because we got to be able to prove that we can score points in the red zone because we struggled so much last week. And Mike London, former UVA coach, is the head coach of William and Mary. He's very familiar with us, and we're obviously very familiar with him. So it's not like a game where UVA is going to take William and Mary lightly or anything. So yeah, it's just one of those games. Like I don't think it's going to be competitive for very long at all. Maybe half a quarter, and I think we'll run up the score in the second half. So I'm going to take. I think that the spread will be much larger. I'm going to say 52-17. So I guess that's 35 points. Yeah. I'm gonna say 52-17 UVA. I think our offense is really just gonna try and make a statement, score when they can, not take them William Mary lightly. And I think defense, we're just gonna try and throw out as many guys on the field as we can to see if they can prove they're worthy of snaps and starters for later in the year in ACC play.
Yeah, I think UVA wins versus William and Mary. And I think it's a 21.5 spread. And I think that's what it's going to be, a 21.5 spread. UVA.
Man, a few words.
Yeah, that's why I kind of figured this was gonna be like a short episode. William and Mary is number 6 in our power rankings, so just missed the cutoff. I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they have anything for UVA. I'm agreeing with Zach. I think it'd be a bigger lead than that. I think they'll score 10. I don't think they'll get to 17, but I'll stick with the 52, if not more. I mean, I don't, it's probably a rivalry game for half of the teams that playing a Saturday. But yeah, I don't think it matters much. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they lost. So sorry. You guys want to go ahead and get to the betting portion of our episode?
Let's do it.
Anybody have one off the rip?
Yeah, I think it's a super easy one. If I had a ton of money, I'd throw everything at it. Clemson on the road Saturday at noon at Georgia Tech, and for some fucking reason, Clemson's favored by 3.5. Doesn't make much sense to me. Even
Whoa.
going into the year, Georgia Tech, they were like an underdog like they were last year. Like they've gotten a lot of hype in the offseason. And they started off the year with a good win at Colorado in week one. Had an easy game last week, so they're 2-0. And then you got Clemson, who had a tough. I'm big on Clemson. I said it before the year. I think they're guaranteed to make the playoff, and then if not, be in the Final Four or national championship game. And then I thought they played defensively really, really well against LSU week one. And I think LSU, in my opinion, right now is the best team in the country. And Clemson fought neck and neck with LSU. But Clemson has a quarterback problem again. Cade Klubnik struggled both weeks, week one, and then obviously the big thing last week, they trailed Troy at home for most of the game and had to come back. They looked like absolute dog shit. They looked horrible. So I don't know what's going on with Clemson right now. I want to say the easy answer is last week's Troy game was just a hangover from the brutal, heartbreaking loss to LSU in week one, and that may be true. But even if Clemson beat Troy by 80, Clemson going on the road against Georgia Tech, and with Cade Klubnik struggling to start the year, I got to give the edge to Georgia Tech here. So part of me wants you to say they'll cover and Clemson wins by three, but I'm gonna grow some balls and just go ahead and pick the upset. Georgia Tech over Clemson, 20-17.
Yeah, I like that pick. Yeah, I think Georgia Tech. This is where it's going to be a bad year for Clemson. Maybe not like terrible because of the conference they're in. They're playing the ACC, right? They'll have some like, very very big wins. It just kind of happens like that, just because the ACC defense isn't like stellar, I guess. But anyway, I don't know. My pick is going to be App State and so sorry. App State and Southern Miss. So I'm not sure how much you guys follow it, but Southern Miss got all the Marshall transfers, their quarterback, Braxton. They had a rough showing against Mississippi State, which everybody thought was going to be really bad. Turns out that loss wasn't as big of a deal as we thought initially because Mississippi State won 2 games last year, but they just had a top 25 win. So State beats. It was a Division II team that went up to FCS this year. So that's this year, and they beat them by 7. So App is favored in that game, which is insane by 3.5 points. Yeah, App State has got a new coach. Like I said, continuity issues. I think I'm sure they'll get it figured out. He's a good coach, but just this week, I think that's going to be a lull for them, and Southern Miss will take them down at least by 7.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good pick. I can see that happening. Is it in Boone?
Okay.
No, it's at Southern Miss.
So
Oh, yeah, that's weird then. Yeah, I'd definitely agree with that.
I
Go ahead, Luke.
think Vanderbilt goes into South Carolina and whoops that ass. I think South Carolina's going to drop major this week, and I think Vanderbilt is definitely going to go home with that W.
I could see it if they play like they did against Tech in the second half. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I
What's the
think
line on that?
And that would be a huge upset because South Carolina is 11 right now.
it's South Carolina minus 3.5.
Yeah.
Damn,
But
so
that
they
would be
think
a
it's going to
huge
go either
upset
way,
on the full
basically.
charts. And then South Florida's also playing Miami. That's going to be a good game, 18 versus number 3.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Like, I think a lot of people have Miami winning that game, which I think is fair, but I think USF got something for them. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. They're playing.
I think Florida's just straight up bad. Billy Napier's on the hot seat just as much as Brent Pry. They had major offensive issues last week. I think anybody could have gone to the swamp and beat Florida the way they played. So I think USF's just getting a ton of hype. I mean, they deserve it, but there's going to be like a 6-win team this year, regardless. They just had a good game against Florida. I think
But they're
Miami's going to
2-0
kill
right
them.
now.
Like Miami's served by 17 and a half. I think they win by like 3 touchdowns. And Miami's not taking them light. Like they know what's up now. South Florida's not coming under the radar now.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I believe you. Another game I wanted to highlight real quick, South Alabama at Auburn. Auburn's ranked 24.5 point favorites. I definitely take out South Alabama without the points. Auburn,
Plus.
not sure what they have, but South Alabama is just like a well-coached team. It's where Gio Lopez came from. You can kind of see where Gio Lopez is without the coaching staff there. So great, I would say good defense. Not last week, but typically good defense. They're in the Sun Belt, so but they are on the west side of the Sun Belt. They're kind of creeping up there, contend with Texas State in the Sun Belt. Just letting y'all know if you want to bet anything.
Didn't they beat? I feel like they've beaten like a big team recently.
I'm not
I'm looking at
sure.
the schedule. They didn't last year.
Last year they smoked App State,
Yeah, that's crazy.
which I guess was a kind of a surprise, maybe.
Definitely see that. They played Tulane pretty well last week, and Tulane's a good
Yes,
football team.
Tulane. Hmm.
But
But
yeah,
yep. What else we got?
what are you still following the?
Yeah, sorry. Real quick, you want to go over like the power rankings for this week, just because we didn't put anything out. I'd still say UVA is number one. I would say that, yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Somebody give me a top five.
I'd say UVA one, JMU two, and then at three, you got to put Virginia Tech. I mean,
Okay,
unless ODU wins.
okay. Out of curiosity, just question here: if you're saying UVA is the better team all year, right?
No, this is week
Like,
by week.
no. If we're saying, but if we count it up and we're saying that UVA overall is better in the week so far, you know what I'm saying? But then it comes to the Virginia Tech UVA game, and Virginia Tech, like, let's say they upset and beat UVA. In that scenario, would that make Tech jump over UVA and JMU for the number one spot? You see what I'm saying? So, like, what?
No, no, I know what you're saying, but like for okay, let's just play it out. Let's say UVA goes 7-5, has a pretty good year. Tech blows like they have been. They're 4-7 going to the game. UVA 7-4. UVA's favored by like three, whatever, 7 points, whatever. And Virginia Tech wins. And UVA still has a much better record. Then yes, I would put Tech over Virginia in that situation. Not JMU, but I would put Tech over UVA.
That's what I was about to say. Take JMU's name out your mouth.
But if you're
Because
saying, but if you're
we got
UVA versus
Liberty.
JMU, and then Virginia Tech would be beats UVA, then there's no really question after that, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
if
but that's just so
if
far.
UVA's at number one, and then Virginia Tech beats UVA, then there's no
That
other
does not
question.
make them number one. That just makes them better than specifically UVA.
Okay,
Mm,
As long as
yeah.
JMU plays well, and this won't be a discussion.
see what happens. We just need to get Brent Pry out of there because whatever they're running, they need to go back to the charts.
Dude, it
No.
doesn't matter. Like Tech could be 1-10 going into the UVA game, but Tech will treat it like it's their Super Bowl, like they do every year,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna beat us. Like we could be 11-0 going to the game. Tech could be winless, 0-11, and I still would predict Tech to win every time. That's just the matter of the fact.
Yeah, I think that's saved everybody's job so many times that it's like, oh, at
Yeah,
least they beat UVA. You know what I mean? Like the
Brent Pry
coaches are
hasn't lost to
automatically,
UVA.
yeah.
Like
But
honestly,
no,
that'll
it's
be
not
so
going to say
funny
Brent Pry. It's not going to say Brent Pry. He's out of there.
if they go 5-7, but he beats UVA.
They
He's
might
out
keep
of
him
there.
around.
He's had
They
three.
might keep him around.
He hasn't
Yeah.
won three.
I'm so serious. If they go 6-6 with a win over UVA, they'll
No,
probably keep
I'm
him.
telling
Dude,
you.
the AD is
They keep
horrible, and he
him.
loves Brent Pry. That's
Yeah.
his guy.
I hate him. I hate him. I think he's terrible.
Too bad it don't matter what you say.
The offensive scheme, they don't know how to like. Their biggest problem is they can't recruit for crap. The recruits that they've been getting, you've seen the downfall of it. Like when Bud Foster left the program, we had Terrell Edmonds, the Edmonds brothers, the Fuller brothers. Dante Hall came out of there. Not Dante Hall, but cornerback came out of there, was played in the
Kendall
NFL, the
Fuller.
Framer. Yeah, I mean, there's other defensive players, Cam Chancellor, but that sort of pedigree of defensive players don't want to come there, and like we're still getting some, but we're not getting what we used to get. It's frustrating. We need to get a reason for people who want to come back to Virginia Tech. It's frustrating. We need to be a top 25.
Got to win.
And we
Winning
need a
solves
coach.
all.
We need a coach. Where's
Don't.
that's all we need. I heard JMU's coach is doing pretty well.
Yeah, I've heard that a bunch actually. Yeah, let old Chesney bring his two quarterback system up to Virginia Tech. No problem.
I'll take it.
As long as we
No,
keep
no,
Colin
it'd be
Hitchler,
different.
the
The offensive
defensive.
coordinator.
No, it wouldn't. He takes
Yeah,
him
what?
everywhere.
Yeah, as a UVA fan, I'm more scared of Pry than I am Chesney.
Yeah.
I want y'all to hire Chesney.
But they were also saying John Gruden. They were also talking about John Gruden at Virginia. I've been hearing rumors about John Gruden.
Yeah. That's a hope and a prayer though. No shot.
Yeah,
If
there's
he does, that
0%
would be
chance of that
sick.
happening.
That'd be
You
sick.
got a better chance of Michael Vick coming back.
Michael Vick's coaching at
Norfolk State, but that's every Hokie fan deep down in their heart. That's like their long-term goal. They wanted Pry to be average, not bad, but average for the next 4 years. And then once Michael Vick gets that head coaching experience under him, he's going to come back home and that would
But this
be
is my
a
problem
dream
about it.
come true.
Like I like Vic, but I don't like. I like him as an athlete. I don't think he's a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he had problems with it everywhere he went that he wasn't like stuck in stuff of that nature. So even to a certain degree, a lot of that was athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And I love Michael Vick. I'm one of the most diehard Michael Vick fans. But to coach,
He's not going to
I
be a
don't
good
Yeah,
know.
coach. I agree.
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you're talking
I
about
think he would need
you
an
need
offense.
good recruits.
Yeah, I mean he would get
He,
definitely think he
he'd
would
be
get
recruiting.
recruits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be insane. The talent in there would be crazy.
him
Yeah,
being, but he would also need to get an offense and defensive. You know what I'm saying? But
there
in
you
that
go.
nature, huh?
There you go. Take JMU's.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Dude, I promise if you take Chesney, you'd get his
Listen,
offensive coordinator and the special
no,
teams.
we
I
don't need that.
swear.
We don't need that. We don't
Then
need
he'll
that.
say no. Then he's not going to go there. That was like
Yeah,
his
but then
like
I don't.
conditions.
We don't need him. Okay, we need. Listen,
Hey,
Virginia
you
Tech.
said it, not
Listen,
me.
this is what. Listen, if I hit the lottery, I'll pay Nick Saban $50 million to come play to come coach at Tech. Okay.
That would be basically all of it. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Getting off topic here.
So
Um,
the Natty Nick
I
Saban.
yeah, I think we can. I think we're good to wrap it up. Any closing comments here, y'all?
I'm good. We covered
No.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
Good.
quick episode with JMU on a bye.
Yeah, yeah, and UVA in a bye.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Well, follow us on Twitter. Who runs the Commonwealth? And that's it for us. Thank y'all for listening.
Peace out.